Grainy, who has been working tirelessly throughout this entire campaign. We also have my colleagues here today, Evan, Jim, here to assist you with any questions throughout the auction process. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the vendors for entrusting us with the sale of this prime piece of real estate behind us. To the neighbours in the crowd, thank you for coming and for making this part of Box Hill North one of the best places to live in. To the bidders in the crowd, thank you for coming and I wish you all the best in the bidding procedure. And the one lucky buyer, we congratulate you in advance on your astute purchase. This auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that are made available before the commencement of the auction. As auctioneer, I'll be indicating bidders upon request and the right to place bids on behalf of the sellers, otherwise known as vendor bids. If when I decide to place those bids, I'll simply say vendor bid. This auction purposes false bids, purposes makes disruptions by bidders, attempting to prevent us from bidding and provides fines for misconduct. And last but not least, when this paperwork hits my hand and this property is deemed sold, I'll absolutely take no late bids and offers beyond that point. If you're successful here today, all that I require from you is a little 10% deposit of the full purchase price. Settlement time, you pick the time frame that suits you best. For the sellers, have been quite flexible here today, anywhere within the vicinity of 30 through to 90 days, unless prior arrangements have been made with you beforehand. In an instance where you bid against vendor bids, you have two options. Do not bid against the highest vendor bid, which means that you decrease your chances of being successful here today, as we'll get to negotiate with multiple parties afterwards. On the positive flip side, however, is that if you do bid against the highest vendor bid, you'll earn yourself the exclusive right to negotiate with the sellers, and statistically speaking, you'll increase your chances of being successful here today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've all been through this home before, on 795 square metres of land with a wide frontage allotment as well, north-facing backyard, so perfect, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're looking to build one luxurious single dwelling or perhaps you want to build multiple dwellings as well. This is the perfect opportunity for you and your family here in heart of Box Hill North, ladies and gentlemen. Right next to the park as well, walking distance to Caramel Primary School, Westfield Doncaster, Box Hill Central, Box Hill Hospital, the list goes on in terms of amenities. You've also got Koonung Secondary College very close by as well, ladies and gentlemen. So enough from me, I'm sure you're not here to hear me talk. We're here to help you buy this property here today. So we're going to see a very reasonable start today with an opening offer, $1.2 million, bottle of champagne to the opening bidder here. $1.2 million here on the right hand side, next to Grainy at 1.2 here. At $1.2 million here on the right hand side. Any interest here, buyers need to know $1.2 million. 1.2 fairly bid and offer now on the right hand side. Buyers need to know any further interest or increments at $1.2 million now. At 1.2 is the bid, fairly bid and offered at $1,200,000 now. 1.2 million. Shashila, any interest here? Acquire your neighbour's home here across the road at $1.2 million at the moment. At 1.2 now, Sanan, what do you say? At $1,200,000 now, buyers need to know at 1.20. At 1.2 is the bid. 1.2 minimum here now, buyers at $1,200,000 now. First call now at $1,200,000. Second opportunity here at 1.2. Third and final call at $1,200,000. All done. Finished. 20,000. 20. Welcome to the bidding here tonight at 1.22. At 1.22 bids back against you, Grainy. What do you say? At 1,220,000. At 1,220 now, can I say 40 back in front here, sir? Can I say 60? At 1.24. At $1,240,000 now. At 1,240 here. 1,240 is the bid here on the left-hand side. You're not going to find another opportunity here. Nearly 800 square metres of land here, of prime Box Hill North soil here at 1,240. At $1,240,000 here is the bid. At 124. At 124, can I see another bid? So now, what do you say? At 1,240 now, can I see 60? At $1,240,000 now, going to call it 3 times. Prepare to miss out, buyers. At 1,240. 60 back in front, 1,260 here is the bid. At 1,260 bids back against you, sir, what do you say? At 1,260. At $1,260,000 here on the right. At 1,260. At $1,260,000 now. Need to know, buyers. 1,260 bids back against you, Grainy. At 1,260. At $1,260,000.
You'll take 10.
We'll take the 10. 1,270 now. At 1,270. Search. Cars just passing here. Thank you. At 1,270 now on my left. At 1,270 now on my left-hand side. At 1,270. Evan, can I see another bid from you? At $1,270,000 now. At 1,270. With a rental income here, ladies and gentlemen, of $600 to $650 per week. Bid with confidence here. This is great investment opportunity for any family here at 1270. At 1270 here. Late stages of the auction here, sir. 1270. 1270. Still great value buying in the heart of Box Hill North. We're still within our indicative selling price here today, sir, at 1270. At $1,270,000 now is the bid. Cars are too quiet these days. Don't even hear them creeping up on you at 1270 now. At $1,270,000 here on my left. 1270 is the bid. At 1270 is the bid. Can I see 80, ma'am, here or sir, at 1270 now on my left? Two bidders involved here at the moment. At 1270 is the bid. At 1270, holding the highest bid here at 1270. At $1,270,000 now. Going to support 3 times. First call at 1270. Second opportunity at 1270.
That's what I'm calling you.
Third and final call here
I'll put another 10.
at 1270. At 1270 is the bid.
1270.
1270 is the bid. Another 10 to get you back into the game, sir, here at 1270. You're not going to find another block on this size, north-facing backyard in Box Hill North for this value, sir. I've looked and I haven't found it. The 1270, there's a reason why you're here today, sir, at 1270. At 1270 now. 1270 here. You can't buy prime real estate like this. Ladies and gentlemen, with your hands in your pocket, you're going to have to bid to play, sir, at 1270 now on my left-hand side. Yep, all good. 1270 now.
Yeah.
At 1270. At 1270 here on my left-hand side.
Yeah.
At 1270.
All right.
At 1270 is the bid here. 1270. Sure. At 1270. At 1270 now here on my left-hand side. Bids here, Jim. What do you say? Any bids here on my right-hand side? Need to know. At 1270 is the bid. At $1,270,000. Any interest here, sir? At 1270. At 1270. Few conversations being had in the crowd here. At 1270. At 1270, buyers are thinking about it here. No, it's a big decision to make. At 1270 now. At 1270. At 1270 now, buyers need to know any further interest or increments at 1270 at the moment. At $1,270,000 now. At 1270. At 1270 is the bid. 270 here, sir. At 1270. Need to know by any further interest or increments here. At
5,000 here.
5,000 back in front. 1275. At 1275 now back in front here, sir. At 1,275. Grainy, what do you say here? 1275 at the moment. 80 now back in front. 1280. At $1,280,000 here on my right. At 1280. At $1,280,000 here on my left. Evan, need to know any further interest here. 1280 now. At $1,280,000 at the moment. At 1280. At 128 is the bid here for Grainy at $1,280,000. Buyers need to know any further interest or increments here at $1,280,000. Any interest here now, Evan, 1280 at $1,280,000. Have a think about it here, buyers. Great value buying in the heart of Box Hill North at 1280. So not any interest here at 1280. Need to know now 1280 at $1,280,000 now. Going to call 3 times. First call now at 1280. Second opportunity here at $1,280,000. Third and final call at $1,280,000. All done. Finish and silent at $1,280,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to hit the pause button and seek further instructions from our vendors. I'll be back with you in just a minute. Thank you. gentlemen, we're at $1,280,000. Bids here with Grainy and her buy here at $1,280,000 here at 1280. At $1,280,000, let's go 1.3 here, sir. What do you say? At $1,280,000 at the moment. At 1280 here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put in a bid here at $1,300,000 here. Thank you. At $1,300,000. Bids back against you here, sir. What do you say? At 1.3 now. At $1,300,000 here. 1.3. At 1.3 here. Can I see a bid, sir? 1.3 here. At 1.3, can I see another bid, sir? 10,000. 1.31. At $1,310,000. We're on the market and selling, ladies and gentlemen, for no better bidding here today. At 1.31. At $1,310,000. No better bidding here today. 1,310. Sanat, any interest here? 1.31. At 1,310. At 1,310 is the bid here with Grainy at 1,310. At $1,310,000 now. Need to know buyers at 1,310. Gonna call it 3 times here. First call now at 1,310. Second opportunity here at $1,310,000. Third and final call at 1,310. 要卖了131万。1.31. 1.31. Need to know, Jim. 131. On the market and selling. No better bidding here today. 1,310. Buyers, have you think about it? 1,310. At $1,310,000 now. Need to know. Give you a few seconds to change your mind here. At 1,310. At $1,310,000 now. Need to know. At 1,310 is the bid. At 1,310 is the bid. Shaking their heads here. Looks like you're in the top seat here, sir. At $1,310,000. First call now, 1,310. Second opportunity here at $1,310,000. Third and final call at 1,310. All done. Finish. Silent. At 1,310. At 1,310. 1,310. We'll take ones. We'll take ones if you want. 1,310. At 1,310 is the bid. Big decision for the family here today at 1,310. At 1,310. Just got to make sure the buyers, thank you for your patience here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be selling your property. We'll do the same thing to 1,310. Looks like you're the winning bidder here, sir, at $1,310,000. First, second, third and final call at $1,310,000 on behalf of the team at CHM Real Estate. Grainy and I have been the selling agents for this property. This property is selling. This property is selling. Put your hands together to the new purchasers. This property is sold. Congratulations. Commiserations to the bidders. Congratulations to our vendors. Thank you.